let's talk about my knitting process for the match cardigan. Hello everyone, Rochelle here, and I'm back to talk some yarn goodness with you all today. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the match cardigan, which is designed by Caidree. So I want to talk about the pattern, and then we'll talk a little bit about the yarn and, the usual. Okay, so this is a paid for pattern, and it calls for bulky weight yarn. Of course, I did do things a little bit different. Instead of a bulky weight yarn, I did use Drops Big Merino, and it is a superwash treated extra fine merino wool, and it's 100% wool. Each ball is 50 grams, 1.8 ounces, and that's 75 meters, 82 yards. And so I bought 12 of these little balls from Wool Warehouse, and I ended up using 12. I'm sorry, no. I bought 12 of these, and I ended up using 11. So I have one ball left over. And the colorway is 09, which is lavender. Okay, so as I mentioned, this pattern called for bulky weight yarn. However, I ended up using an Aran weight yarn. So I knew that my garment was going to have like a looser pattern texture than what the sample called for, and I was okay with that. I've made Caidree patterns before. I made the home cardigan, and so I figured it was kind of, like I could handle it. And I was going to be fine with the looser texture. And so also another thing, because the texture is so much looser, my cardigan is about 3 inches longer than what the pattern calls for if you were using a bulky weight yarn. And I wanted to make sure that I explain that to you all, because I'm going to show you all this with me trying it on. And I don't want you to think that if you use bulky weight yarn, it's going to look like this. No, if you use a heavy worsted or a Aran weight yarn, it'll look like mine. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you see mine and you're like, oh, I really want to make it, I use an Aran weight yarn. So of course the gauge is going to be a lot looser than what the pattern calls for. And what I really love about it is that this cardigan is great for the spring. It is nice and airy and flowy, and I love it. Of course, I would like to make another one in the bulky weight yarn that the pattern calls for, and I think it's going to be great for fall. So yeah, it's really nice. It has like a really nice gauge, and it's nice and open and airy, and yeah, I'm going to get a lot of use out of this for the spring. So yeah, I keep looking outside because it is so windy out there. I'm just making sure nothing blows away. But anyway, that's distracting me. All right, so I did swatch. Now, I swatched knowing that I was not going to meet the intended gauge, but I wanted to see what gauge I would meet anyway. Of course, it has a different gauge, but I don't know. I just kind of wanted to see like what would I come up with if I was to do this gauge. And I think it turned out right anyway. And the great thing about me doing the gauge swatch anyway was that it allowed me to see what kind of texture or what type of fabric I was going to get. Because since I was using an Aran weight yarn and the pictures were all in bulky, I wasn't quite sure how it was going to look. So by doing that gauge swatch, it really showed me like, okay, this is what your fabric is going to look like. Can you live with it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? And I thought, okay, this is going to look fantastic. So the swatch really helped me to have some more confidence in making this pattern. Okay, so the bust circumference for this pattern is between 41 to 64 inches, and that is 105 to 165 centimeters. Now, I knit the size 4, and the ease for the pattern is between 8 to 10 inches. Oh, I want to go back. So I knitted the size 4, but keep in mind I have a 50-inch bust. So if you have a 50-inch bust or somewhere around there, I think the size 4 would be really good for you. So the ease is 8 to 10 inches of positive ease built in. I love when the positive ease is built in. It makes it so much easier because y'all, I am not good with math, and that makes it so much easier. And that is 20 to 25 centimeters of positive ease built in. And so you don't have to do any math with the gauge. It's already built in. It's already built in. So I absolutely love that. Now, let's go over the different needle sizes that I had to use, which was quite interesting. Okay, so I used a US 11, 8 millimeter for the body and the sleeves. And I used a US 10, which is a 6 millimeter for the button band. Now, the pattern called for a US 10.75, 7 millimeter for the sleeve cuffs and body ribbing. I do not have a size US 10.75 7 millimeter. So I used a US 10.5, which is a 6.5 millimeter. And that is such a weird size. A US 10.75. Let me know if you all have that needle size or if you used it. I did put it out on Instagram asking people like, is this a typo? Is this a real knitting needle size? But a few of you said, oh yeah, I use that all the time. So I guess I'm the one that's behind. But yeah, it was such a weird size. And so for all of you all that responded to that question, thank you. It definitely helped me to realize like, okay, a US 7.5 is an actual knitting needle size. And I have an interchangeable set, and also I have fixed needles, and I've never seen that size. But because I know that I do want to make this pattern again for the fall, I'm definitely going to go and buy me a Caidree 10.75 interchangeable needle, so that, I can incorporate that, and I'll have it. So learn something new every day, right? I learned a new knitting size, so that was cool. Okay, so this pattern, or rather this cardigan, is a raglan with a V neck. And I love the look of the raglan. Let me show you all right there. I love the look of this raglan. I think it's really cool. And it's quite deep, but not too deep, because I really like the fit. And so, love it. Now, the sleeves, I worked it using my 12-inch Caidree shorty needles, and I put stitch markers along the way to just kind of help me, with the decreases. And it was really simple. And so then I finished it with an invisible join. And this bind off is so cool. I'm going to talk about the bind off, but for the neckband and the bottom ribbing and the sleeve cuffs, so it uses a 2x2 ribbing, which I really, really like. And the 2x2 ribbing on the sleeves or the sleeve cuffs, and the bottom hem is 4 inches. And then for the button band, it was 2 inches. And so I thought that was really neat. And I believe this is my first time doing a button band where all the stitches are on the needle. So you might have like 200 or 300 stitches all on the needle. Usually when I do button bands, it's kind of like you apply them afterwards and you just have 2 separate button bands. But this was really cool. I had never done this before, so I really like that. All right, so I'm trying to find the buttons. I had a lot of fun with these buttons. So these are the buttons that I used. It called for 4 1-inch buttons, and I got these clear sparkly buttons, and I used a matching thread to sew them on. The only thing that I would change is if I wish I had maybe like 5 buttons or 6 buttons, because the V is really deep, but the more I wear it, the more I like it. I was kind of thinking that I would like to have the buttons up to here, so it's like a smaller V-neck, But like I said, I like it. I just had to wear it and get used to it because I actually do wear my cardigans clothes sometimes. So, you know, I think it's really nice. If I have a really nice t-shirt or tank top, whatever underneath it, I think it's going to be perfectly fine. So I really do like that. And oh, for the buttons, that's 2.5 centimeters or 1 inches for the buttons. And yeah, so other than having like an extra buttonhole, that was kind of like the only thing I was thinking, like, oh, I wish I had that. But now I don't even think about it. It's totally fine. Okay, so as I mentioned, I did try it on as I went, just so I can see my progress. And that's what I really love about top-down garments is that you can try it on along the way. And so each time I tried it on, I was like, okay, this is fitting great. I didn't have to change anything. Yeah, so it definitely gave me confidence to keep going. And so I'm really glad that I tried it on as I went. And it kind of just gave me an opportunity to see what it was going to look like with the back and the front and where the raglan sleeves were going to hit and also where my sleeves were going to hit. My sleeves, they come down to like the middle of my hand, which is perfectly fine for me. Because I have short arms, I was kind of wondering would I have to like take some of the stockinette stitches out or some of the decreases, but no, everything worked out. And I knew that it was going to work out because I tried it on along the way. So that was definitely a really good thing. Okay, so since the cardigan has such a loose gauge, I decided to steam block it because I felt like if I was to wet block it, it was really going to pull down the stitches. And so I'm so glad that I did steam block it. And I will leave a link below to the steamer that I used. This is only my second garment that I've ever steam blocked. And the steam definitely helped the stitches relax, especially around the bottom where the button bands were. It really helped even up the button bands. It really helped bring out the sleeve cuff, the ribbing, and I really enjoyed that. And the fabric, it became even softer. It really didn't become too much longer, but it definitely softened and relaxed the stitches. And so I really, really like that. Now, I did have a bit of a scare, and I definitely learned a lesson. So, I learned that when you are steaming your garments, do not steam too close to the garments or it will like shoot out water. And I thought that I had ruined my garment. I thought that basically it's like the steamer, after a while, it let out this huge gust of steam and it looked like it had stained my cardigan. And I was like, oh no, I've ruined it. I've worked so hard. I ruined it. But I got on Reddit, as you do, and I was looking at people that had issues with like steaming things like silk and stuff like that. And basically they said, blot it with water and then take a blow dryer and dry it. And that's exactly what I did. And everything came out wonderfully. And really it was no emergency at all. It just looked bad. And basically all I needed to do was just dry that spot. And it dried perfectly fine. I don't have any blotches or anything like that. Everything looks great. And so, yeah, this cardigan definitely gave me a bit of a scare, but it turned out to be just fine. So I was happy about that. Okay, so I also learned a lot of new skills with this cardigan, and I love learning new stitches and things like that. So I learned how to do a left listed, no, rewind, a left lifted increase. Say that 10 times. And I also learned how to do a right lifted increase. So if you have used any of these stitches, let me know because until this pattern, I had never heard of it at all. And also, I learned how to knit or do a bind off where you knit through the back loop. I have never done that bind off before. It was totally new to me. Like, it was really meditative. It was really cool. Like, yeah, you're basically just knitting through the back loop and you're bonding off. I don't even know how to explain it. I had to watch some YouTube tutorials. But that's another thing. The great thing about this pattern is that there's a ton of YouTube tutorials that come along with the pattern, and I definitely need it because I had never heard of a knitted bind off in the back loop only, and it was really cool. Let me see if I can show you all. Yeah, so like right there down at the bottom, you can really see it. And to me, it kind of looks like, I don't know, it just kind of looks like you have a row of knit stitches or like a row of stockinette facing the front. And I just thought that was really cool. And it goes all the way around. I did it for all of the bind offs. And so, yeah, loved it. And another new technique that I learned is I learned how to knit pockets. I've never knit pockets before. And so it was really cool. It was kind of like knitting two swatches and sewing it on. Basically is all that it was. And so here's my pocket. And as you can see, there are rows of stockinette, and then you have some 2x2 ribbing here. Now, the hardest part about the pockets was sewing it on. And I also had to watch another YouTube video on that, which was included in the pattern. Caidree has a channel where she explains different techniques that's used in her patterns. And so that took quite a while. Making the pockets, like, that was easy, but sewing on the pockets, yeah, that definitely took some time and precision just to make sure that all of the stitches line up. But it's so cute. And you know what? I'm like afraid of stretching the pockets out, so I don't even know if I'll put my hand in it. I think it's just going to be for looks, but it's so cute. It's so adorable, and yeah, it's fun. I loved it. So there are two pockets. Here is the other pocket, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun to make, and I love just kind of like learning new techniques, and I think that makes me a better knitter because I continue to learn more and more things. All right, it can't all be good, y'all. It can't all be good. Let's talk about this yarn. Okay, now I love the color. I love how soft and squishy the yarn is. But y'all, this yarn is super, super splitty. It's super splitty and it catches on everything. I'm going to try to see if I can't show you all what I'm talking about when I say it catches on everything. But it does. And I'm a little bit worried because I am going to be using this yarn again. I had already bought it. And I'm going to be using this yarn again to make the Felix cardigan. And so I'm hoping that the Felix cardigan, I think I have a smaller gauge. I think I'm going to be using US 8 and US 10 needles. So it's going to be a little bit smaller. And so I'm hoping that the yarn behaves a little bit better. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm a little nervous about my Felix cardigan now. I have it in green. And so yeah, super splitty, super snaggy, if that's a word. But yeah, part of me is a little scared to use it again. Let's see if I can pull the green. Oh, I pulled the whole button band off. Anyway, this is the yarn that I want to use for the Felix. Let's see if I can get one with a button band. Okay. Yeah. So this is also Drops Big Merino and the color 14. And I want to use this for my Felix cardigan. Like I said, I had already bought this, before making this cardigan. So I'm a little nervous, but hopefully everything will turn out fine. But anyway, yeah, so if you do consider using the Big Merino, just keep in mind that it might like split a little bit on you. And definitely when you're knitting, make sure you have all of your threads in the, make sure your needle is under all of the threads before you make your next stitch, because it's really easy to split the yarn fiber. So definitely keep that in mind. And also, the weirdest thing. So this yarn had all of these little black, I don't even know how to describe it. It had like all of these little black pieces woven into it. And that was really annoying because this is not a Tweety yarn at all. And I kept having like all of these little black pieces that I had to pull out along the way. And that was super annoying. And it was all through the yarn. And it wasn't like it was just like in one skein here or there. No, it was in all 11 balls. And the thing is, yeah, it's in this one as well. I can see it. Yep. So, I mean, it is wool, you know. Of course, you're going to have animal fibers in it, but I didn't think you would have black fibers in this yarn. So, hopefully, I will not have it in this yarn. Maybe it's something just with this color. I don't know. But, definitely keep that in mind. But looking at the green, I don't see it. But I won't know until I, crack it open and start using it. So we'll see. And also, this yarn might look familiar because I was originally using this yarn to make the Top Gun Bomber by Knitted. But I was working on it. It was bottom up. I just wasn't enjoying it. And so I frogged it. I ripped it out. And I decided to cast on this match cardigan instead. And I'm so glad I did it because I absolutely love it. And as I mentioned before, I definitely want to knit another one in the fall. It was super quick. I think it took me 28 days to make. Let me check my notes here. I'm not sure how long it took me, but it was quick. It was super, super quick. And, I don't knit for things to be quick, but I am definitely a product knitter. And I just wanted this cardigan. I just wanted to finish this cardigan because I wanted to wear it. And I'm so glad that I get to wear it now. So, yay! I love it.
For a lifetime underneath the moonlight, 'cause I don't want us to go. No, I don't want us to go. Yeah, you could be my lifeline, you could be my sunshine in a world so full of pain. Can you make it go away? It used to be so sad that love was lost, but now it's here to stay. Yeah, I used to be uncomfortable, but look at me today.
So let me know in the comments if you have made the match cardigan or you're interested in knitting the match cardigan. I would really love to know. And let me know what yarn you use or you're thinking about using. And also, please don't forget that Trish of Tie Dye Diva and we are hosting a year-long make-along, and it's called Year of the Sweater Make-Along. I'm definitely going to sneak this one in because cardigans are sweaters. They are a type of sweater. And so anything that you classify as a sweater, sweater vest, sweater, cardigan, whatever, definitely use hashtag Year of the Sweater Make Along. And because Instagram is weird, tag me in your post as well as using the hashtag, just so I can make sure I see it. And also, if Instagram is not your thing, Trish is running the make along on the Ravelry side, and so you can definitely check out the Ravelry thread, and I'll leave Trish information below as well. And so yeah, we've been having a lot of fun. People are just doing some amazing things and posting some really cool stuff. And so I try to dip between the Instagram and the Ravelry thread as much as I can, but y'all are just posting some beautiful things, and I think it is wonderful. And lastly, I just kind of wanted to talk about myself for a little bit. So I did get new glasses, as some of you probably have noticed. I do have a vlog coming out later this month, and I'll take you all with me to the optometrist. And also, I just want to give a shout out to my locks. I'm going on month number 8, and I have bangs. Y'all, I have bangs. Like, that is The growth, I love it. Anyway, enough about me. I just had to. I just had to say it. All right, y'all. Before I continue on, let me know what you all worked on while watching. Did you knit, crochet, weave, spin, or did you just chill? Maybe you were on a walk. Yeah, maybe you just got me in your ear. If so, hello. So yeah, definitely let me know. I love reading you all's comments. Definitely check out my YouTube community tab. I'm always asking a lot of fun questions there, and I love interacting with you all. And also, if you want some bonus content, bonus vlogs, invite to a private Facebook page and community tab, definitely click that join button below and become one of my lovely members. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, bye.